In this demo, I will demonstrate or introduce you to the rules in MDT 2010 Lite Touch. We are back to the deployment workbench. And for example, let's go ahead and go into the deployment rules again for our production share, the one we reviewed in the previous demo. And this file that you see in here, the rules tab, this one, is actually just a file in the file system. So if I cancel this one out, we can easily modify this file directly by going to the MDT production, control folder, and open up the customsettings.ini file. And as you can see, this file is exactly the same. The benefit of using MDT is all the different things that we can do in this simple text file. To give you an example, what if you would like to assign or generate a computer name for your machines? Then you can simply go ahead and add OST computer name equals % serial number %. Not maybe the best computer name in the world, but still we are generating a computer name using one of the many default variables. And the number one question I get is, okay, it's cool that we can use all these variables. Isn't there a list somewhere with all the variables in it? Yes, there is. If you go to the MDT documentation, meaning the help file, if you go to content, there is actually a toolkit reference, properties and property definition. This is a listing of all available variables, and often they have a sample on how they can be used. But back to the workbench again, or the rules file. I can also add different priorities in here. I can add, for example, model, because model is also one of the known or built-in variables. And this corresponds to a section about the model, because when I start a deployment, MDT actually figures out quite many things about my machine, and model being one of them. So if I'm deploying an HP Compaq 8510 workstation, that's a laptop actually, but it's named workstation, I can now say, as long as the name is correct, I can say that these types of machines should have one of the applications installed. So I can add application 001 equals and then a GUID of the application needed for that model. So how do I find the GUID? Well, back to the workbench, find an application, copy the GUID, and paste it in. So now I'm assigning one applications, but only for these models.